Hey everybody, and welcome to another Unity game development video. In today's video I will be showing off a kind of simple general update to my Brainine 3D platformer game that I've been working on in Unity. Just kind of doesn't seem like a huge significant update, but it's pretty significant as far as character interaction and interacting with the environment goes. If you've seen any of my other videos, it seems like there probably isn't much of a difference of anything going on here while I'm playing, but I've actually retooled the entire character controller, and that might seem a little confusing to anyone who's watched my videos, but the main thing that's changed here is if I walk into these objects here, the character is now being powered by a rigid body, and we're manipulating a rigid body with forces instead of using the Unity character controller. And that adds a lot of versatility, considering that the character is now physically driven rather than what's it called? Instead of translating in like a world space using the character controller. So it's really interesting, it's really cool that you can now push things over, and equally as important, other objects can push into you. See that I'm sliding from that. So there's a lot more open-endedness to what can be done in the game now due to using the rigid body. I'm not a huge fan of the character controller. I understand that it has its uses. Obviously, if I was making like some kind of simple survival horror game, or like a Resident Evil type game, or a point and click adventure, I wouldn't really need the environment to physically interact with the player. You might want to just get a game object from point A to point B. But with a rigid body, I think it's a little more open-ended. I think a huge part of what people expect from a 3D platformer is kind of environmental interaction and interacting with enemies, and this is a huge step forward in that direction, I believe. And like simple like that, like a character hitting me with their weapon, I would be able to knock back the character, or being able to knock over an object and that object falling over and hitting me or an enemy. Like, you can do that with a character controller, but you'd have to use very specific built-in functions that would they're kind of janky. Like imagine if you walked over a pit of spikes or something like that, or a little bit of lava or something, and you wanted to do some knockback on the character. We could do that with either a character controller or a rigid body, but when it comes to the character controller, what would happen is I would have to add a force in a direction away from that hazard, and we'd have to take into account a lot of different aspects that we could just kind of gloss over in the rigid body, like acceleration of the character being pushed away, the arc of the character moving. But if we just use something like a rigid body, we can just preserve and slightly decrease the velocity over time, or we can just add a single force and the air resistance of the rigid body will take care of the rest. And it just seems a lot easier. Using the character controller for a lot of aspects of physically based movement is a bit of a headache. So if you think this is interesting, maybe you could consider using a rigid body for your thing as well. That's mostly what I've added for the character. Besides this cool little dash, but you've probably seen dashes in games before. You probably don't need me to explain it, but I'll give a quick, overview of it. Basically, on one frame, the game is detecting the position of the player, and then a single frame later, it detects the next position. If that change in position is greater than 0, it will save that vector for just the very next frame, and if you press the dash button, it'll add a force in that direction. So I can dash back and forth like that. And I think that's pretty cool. But this isn't a huge update. I think it's interesting, but I am aware that it's a very simple kind of change that isn't very bombastic or crazy, and some people might not even consider it to be something worth showing off. And I'm kind of on the fence about that. I think it's somewhat worth showing off, but the main reason I'm showing it is because I haven't made a video in a long time. I haven't made a devlog for my game in a long time. I've been constantly working on my game, but I haven't had a chance to make a video because of holidays and stuff like that. I now work a full-time job, but I just wanted to ease back into it to show off something very simple, and I think it worked out. In the next video, I'm going to be going over one of the new attacks in the game. It's kind of an AoE kind of telekinetic blast that blasts objects away. It's using the same script as this pickup and launch script that we've had. That spinning of the particles right there was kind of a glitch that's going on now. It's not really a glitch because I know exactly why it's happening. I'm just too lazy to fix it right now. But yeah, we're going to go over that new attack, and there's a few things that I can show off with the quests, and that will be a whole nother video by itself. But thank you for watching. I just wanted to show off a quick few things and say that I'm going to be uploading more videos soon. And I don't know, I'll see you either next week or I'll see you in the new year. Thank you for watching. I don't know, I'm looking forward to showing off more of the game, and I'll probably show off, haven't been working on it much. I haven't been working on my FPS project too much, but I have some cool ideas that I want to try, so I am going to work on that, and then I will get back to you, and you'll probably see some videos of that in the near future as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.